So let's just get more insight now on the G20 meeting this weekend. I'm joined by Halpenny. He's European Head of Foreign Exchange at the Bank of Tokyo-Mitsubishi UFJ. Thank you very much for coming in to speak to us. A lot of the people that I've been speaking to are saying they're not expecting a great deal to emerge from this summit, that it'll be a lot of rhetoric, but no binding agreement when it comes to the global currency issue. Why? Why are they having such problems coordinating with each other?
Well, I just think it's extremely difficult to come up with, people make comparisons with Plaza or Louvre, and I think to come up with some kind of agreement like that when you're not talking about a G5 scenario, you're talking about a G20 scenario, it just makes it far, far more difficult. But I do think it appears there is a strategy being developed, certainly been driven by the United States, to try and focus the issue not specifically on the movements of the foreign exchange markets, but the actual imbalances. So those with current account surpluses are the countries that have to start targeting that to bring it down. And one of the ways in which to do that is through foreign exchange. And that's important, one of the ways. And I think it's crucial that G20 acknowledge that the correction of the global imbalance story, FX is only one element of that, and there has to be more progress on the other elements. So structural reform for the United States, tighter fiscal policy; for China, boosting domestic demand, in particular household consumption.
I was speaking to a guest a little earlier on, and he was saying that we need to move away from the kind of emphasis on the euro-dollar. This is actually more about emerging market currencies. What do you say to that?
Well, yeah, I would say I would go more specific. I would say it's more specifically about Asia. Because if the focus is going to be on the imbalances and it's the surplus countries that need to adjust. Of course, we've been here before with G7. In 2004, they raised this issue, but never really specifically in a specific way on G20. Because Latin America, for example, Brazil's running a current account deficit at the moment. So that would indicate to the markets that there's no need for further adjustment in terms of the dollar against the Brazilian real. Whereas if you talk about Asia, many countries, Malaysia, South Korea, China, of course, all of these countries are running substantial current account surpluses. So the signal there would be we need further adjustment on those currencies.
And those emerging markets are arguing that low interest rates and QE in developed markets are resulting in capital inflows for them. Are we going to see a continuation of QE-driven markets?
Yes, I do think so for the moment, but I do think another interesting aspect, the quid pro quo, could be that we actually get much, much stronger rhetoric in regard to the authorities, the global authorities, rejecting general dollar depreciation. And I think in order to get China involved, and of course China is central to all of this, they're going to have to see a greater commitment by the United States in terms of telling the markets that they do not want the dollar to depreciate further, and they're not instigating a policy of dollar devaluation.
Halpenny, European Head of Foreign Exchange for Bank of Tokyo-Mitsubishi. Good to talk to you.